Imagine a scenario where a man with a perfectly valid visa finds himself locked up in a U.S. immigration detention center, all while the government insists he's breaking the law. Sounds like a plot twist from a courtroom drama? It's real, and it happened during a massive ICE raid at a Hyundai factory in Georgia. But here's where it gets controversial. The leaked internal document obtained by The Guardian reveals that at least one of the 475 arrested workers wasn't violating any visa rules. So why was he detained? Let's unpack this tangled web of legal claims, government actions, and the human stories caught in the middle. The incident unfolded last week when ICE agents stormed the Hyundai battery plant in Elabel, Georgia. The agency's official line? Every person arrested was working illegally or violating their visa. But the leaked document tells a different story. It names a South Korean contractor who arrived in the U.S. in June with a B1, B2 visa, a visa typically used for business visits or tourism. According to the file, he was employed as a contractor by a South Korean firm, SFA, at the Hyundai battery plant. Crucially, the document states he had not broken his visa terms, yet ICE still mandated his voluntary departure from the country. This is outrageous, says Charles Cook, a Georgia-based immigration attorney representing several detainees. He argues that detaining someone with a valid visa is not just a mistake, it's a crime. This isn't an accident. People go to prison for stuff like this. The government, however, doubles down. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson claims the man admitted to unauthorized work on a B1, B2 visa, despite the leaked documents suggesting otherwise. The contradiction raises a critical question. Who's telling the truth, and who's being unfairly scapegoated? And this is the part most people miss. The term voluntary departure in immigration law doesn't mean what it sounds like. As Cook explains, agreeing to leave under ICE custody can have lasting consequences, including the loss of future visa eligibility or the right to return to the U.S. For this worker, a simple job opportunity turned into a bureaucratic nightmare. When you leave under ICE's watch, you're signing away your rights, Cook says. This is about control, not justice. The situation has sparked political tensions, too. South Korea, which recently struck a $12.6 billion investment deal with Georgia for the Hyundai battery plant, has expressed outrage. The two governments are now reportedly negotiating to repatriate the detained workers. Meanwhile, attorneys like Samantha Hamilton of Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta argue that many of the arrested men are victims of circumstance. They took a job on an ambitious project only to be thrown into detention, she says. This isn't about immigration enforcement, it's about exploiting fear. But here's the kicker. The government's own internal official, speaking anonymously, admits the arrests may have been illegal. Detaining someone who isn't violating the law is unlawful imprisonment, the source tells The Guardian. Yet the government maintains its stance, claiming the detainees are the ones at fault. The inconsistency leaves a troubling question hanging in the air. Is this a case of overreach or a systemic flaw in how immigration enforcement is carried out? As the dust settles, around 300 detainees could be deported as early as Wednesday, while others, particularly non-Koreans, remain in custody. The lack of clarity about how many workers actually had valid visas only deepens the controversy. For now, the story of this one man and the broader implications of the raid remains a flashpoint in the ongoing debate over immigration. So what do you think? Is this a one-off error or a symptom of a broken system? Should governments prioritize enforcement over fairness when it comes to immigration? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you.